Hey guys, we're on thread. We're back with another episode live from Street Superior, guys. Let's do some short introduction. My name is Yas.
I'm Dexter from Street Superior.
I'm Jay from the Kickz Stand.
Hi guys, it's me again, Young. Okay, let's start right now today. So today we got the guys from Soul Superior and Kickz Stand. They are both part of the movement for Asian Street Movement. Let's talk about let's go right into it and talk about what's so special about like this year's Soul Superior. Okay.
Well, I think this year is the first time that I officially brought Jay down to feature at our event as part of Asian Street Movement. So not only do we have the Kickz Stand, we have Jakarta Sneaker Day, and we also have Urban Sneaker Society. So this is a small facet of what Asian Street Movement is about. It's about bringing the whole entire culture of sneakers and streetwear in Asia, all around Asia. So this was a unique experience for this year, where we brought our friends from other countries here to Singapore to celebrate Street Superior. And in future, we're going to go over to their countries to celebrate. Can be the Kickz Stand is small and just sneakers. It can be JSD, it can be USS. So this is the most unique thing about this year's Street Superior.
Speaking of unique things this year at Soul Superior, what's with the whole Barbie Colette, man? Like, I'm quite keen to know how did that go. How did that go down, man?
Okay, it's a very interesting story. All right, we got hit up to asked whether we want to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Barbie, and I know you know us. We always do this kind of stuff that usually off field from what we usually do. So we decided to take on a challenge, and when they told us we had to feature local creatives celebrating 60 years of Barbie, be anything you want, we couldn't say no. And we roped in not only our friends from the local streetwear and street culture scene, we also roped in local creatives. And if you pop by and see it's a whole month long here at SCAPE, you'll realize that Singapore indeed has very unique fashion sense. And in fact, the designs here are out of this world, including mine. If you can guess which one is mine. Just guess.
Okay, another question we've been dying to ask is how much effort have you guys actually put in to keep like Street Superior, Soul Superior going for like 7 years strong, man?
I think it's less of effort, it's more of financial. Whether it makes more sense financially to run this kind of event. But I guess for me, John, and our partners, 111, we always had this motto of what do we really want to see in an event? So we usually start with a very modest kind of idea, but every time, by the time it reaches the start of the event, ideas just grow. And like if you come down here for this weekend for Street Superior, you realize that last year people said it was too hot. You say it was too dirty. It was too inconvenient. Well, we took those advice to heart, and this year it's clean. It's very cold at some places, and it's so central that you have no reason not to be here. So how much effort do we put in? Well, I haven't slept properly for the last few weeks. I think Jay can attest to that coming up for his events. He just had one recently as well.
Since Dexter has talked quite a bit, let me ask Jay. So what are you most excited to showcase this year at Soul Superior?
All right, so for this year's Soul Superior, we're doing a collaboration with a brand from Indonesia, or Jakarta actually, called Cosmonauts. So we're releasing a t-shirt collab, which we only made 200 of them, and each t-shirt is actually numbered to 1 to 200, and they're actually like printed 1 to 200. They're not written down. So that's one of them. And then we invited two of our two artists from Australia, one from Melbourne, which his name's Chase, which we launched 2 Air Max 1s called Street and Superior. So for the event. And then customizer named Jeffrey, Grail Crew, which he launched the Legends of Hip Hop. That's basically like we launched for the event for Street Superior.
Actually, I think a lot of people might be a bit not very familiar with Kickz Stand. Can you let everybody know what Kickz Stand is actually about? What do you guys do?
Okay, cool. So the Kickz Stand started basically in 2013. Started as a Facebook community group, which is now one of the biggest ones in Australia, which we have 47,000 members. And then from that community group, we started doing events in Sydney, because we're based in Sydney. And then about 3 years ago, then we started traveling around Australia and started doing events in the different major cities in Australia. So this year we completed all 5 major cities. So we did Adelaide first, then Perth, then Melbourne, then Brisbane, and then last one in Sydney. And so yeah, basically that's what we do.
So this question is for both of you guys. So you guys been around the region, like in Malaysia for Sneakerla, for Jakarta Sneaker Day. Like, how do you guys feel like the scene is different from here and like over there?
I guess for each different country, we have our unique traits. Like for example, if you going to Jakarta Sneaker Day, I realized that the amount of local designers, shoe brands that they have were amazing. And what's more that impressed me was the amount of support that the community has there for their local brands. But there's actually one communal goal that all of the sneaker events that I've been to seem to have in common, which is basically people coming together to share a very similar interest and passion. And I mean, I haven't been to any of Jay's events, but hopefully soon. And all of them look very dope. So I think visiting other countries gives that different perspective and interesting anecdotes to the different cultures that we have around the world.
So for me, I guess when I first visited Jakarta, which is February, seeing like first of all the amount of people that was there, which is a bit overwhelming because I've never seen so much people in like one place. I mean, like Street Superior, like I mean, I've been to your events, like basically in Zug, it was like a lot of people, but seeing it in a big like a shopping center, man, like a lot of people like that, I've never seen that before. But the amount of people, I guess, that what really impressed me about the Jakarta Sneaker Day is the amount of support the local community to their local brands. Like there's local brands, there's a lot of them were sold out, which is like unbelievable. And some of them they actually sold out early Saturday and they still had Sunday. Especially there's another brand that was actually impressed, I think Compass. Yeah, and that's a local sneaker brand there, and people were lining up for that, actual brand, and that's actually pretty good. So yeah, it's pretty good to see like other events in different countries on how they do things, and see if there's anything there that you can take back home and then maybe implement as well. So yeah, it's good.
What's the one thing like you wish for the sneaker culture or the street culture in Singapore to be like moving ahead after these few days?
Well, I guess, I mean, as every year passes, we realize that more and more people are coming here to Street Superior and for the various sneaker events in Singapore. But I think one thing that we can learn from like other places, like for example in Australia and Indonesia, is that sometimes you just need to support your local brands and creatives, not just because they're local, but because they are just as good, if not sometimes better than what is offered out there. And I think in order for a community and a scene to grow, it has to feed on itself internally. So if, like for example, just buying a $30 t-shirt from a local designer may just be an additional t-shirt to you, but for that guy who had designed a t-shirt, it is an additional piece of hope that tells him that, hey, doing this makes sense. So like I always say, for the first Soul Superior, if 200 people had turned up, I probably wouldn't have 7 years now. But luckily for us, 1,000 over of them appeared. And till to this day, I'm glad to call all these people fans, I guess. But ultimately, that's the reason why I do these events. And that's the reason why the culture has been growing. But of course, it can grow in a better way. Yeah.
Right guys, so here's wishing for a good 3 days ahead, and all the best guys, and we'll catch you guys another time. Bye.